Coming to you live for the Build Ford Tough Studio. Boomer Esiason, Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan. Simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network and wherever you are on the free Odyssey app. Good Thursday morning. We've got week 2 of the NFL starting tonight with the Bills and the Dolphins. That should be a fun game to watch and certainly an interesting one for Jets fans who can take an even closer look at their AFC East brethren and what they're getting into. And by the way, the Jets, the only team in the AFC East do not have won at this point so far. So this is to get another loss tonight in the AFC East. You get an exciting, unbelievable ending to the Mets game yesterday. Francisco Lindor again coming up huge. And I have to say, Boomer, I really do think, and you know my history with the Mets and growing up a huge Mets fan. I have that picture in my office of me in full uniform saying I want to be on Kiner's Corner when I was 7 years old. Went to 41 home games living in Brookhaven Hamlet in 2005. I've been to a million playoff games to see them get eliminated from the World Series twice inside Shea Stadium and Citi Field. Was there at the end of 2008 when Shea Stadium closed. I've got, there it is right there. Tim and Ralph are great. So I've been a Mets fan for a long time. I put in a lot of work as a Mets fan, if you will. And I think that 2022 ruined this season for me.
Really?
That's what I think has happened.
Why do you feel
because
that way?
That season was supposed to be so special, and it was so special for so long, and then there was this horrible collapse, and they ended up losing to the Braves, getting swept, and then that Padres series. And it's hard for me to get into it because of what happened 2 years ago, and I'm mad. I'm mad at Max Scherzer. I'm mad at that team. I'm mad at Verlander and DeGrom, and actually Verlander was the year after. DeGrom and Bassett. I'm mad at all of them because I feel like this season got ruined because I don't believe in them from 2 years ago. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
I'm great. And by the way, I'm Mr. Negative. I'm the guy that always has the negative take on things.
Well, that's more like
this is what you said yesterday.
Life and
Are
politics.
you kidding me? I walked in this morning. I saw a Fliegelman who can't taste or smell, and I was going to say, hey. And I did say, hey.
Hey, Fliegelman.
I love you, and I love a pennant race. And both teams had amazing games yesterday. And, obviously you and I did not see the Met game. I got in the car.
Live,
and
yes.
I got in the car, and I'm listening to Evan, yapping away.
Baseball, baseball, baseball.
Right, exactly. And he was so excited, and he got me excited. Not that way, but just made me excited. So I couldn't wait to get home to watch the highlights and to see it and watch Lindor just rip the ball down the right field line. And again, a great performance by Sean Manaea. That's the thing. I mean, the pitching is good, and Lindor comes up huge. And again, Pete Alonso. I mean, come on, man, let's go. And I just feel like I don't know, man. Maybe there's something magical happening there.
See, this is exactly. You're going.
Yeah, but I've been around.
You're leading me right back into my take.
I've been around longer than you. I was a part of the Miracle Mets when I was 8 years old, and guess what? I wore my uniform and brought my glove to Shea Stadium, and I loved every minute of it. I would sit on the stoop, wait for my dad to come home from work. He would grab me, we'd get on the train, and we'd go back to Shea Stadium, and I would wear my little Met uniform.
I'm glad you said that because that's a major difference right there is you remember the Miracle Mets and you remember 86, where I was 4 years old in 86 and obviously was nowhere near being alive in 1969. So I think that's really where that comes from is the fact that you've seen it happen. You've actually seen.
But part of being a fan is the suffering, man. And
I've had it. Yeah, I know. But
when it finally happens, like in 1994, I'm dragging my 3-year-old with me, Gunner, to every freaking playoff game because I wanted him to be a part of it because he may never see another Stanley Cup in his life.
Yeah, I understand.
And, does he remember it? No, but does you look back at some videos that we're in? Yes. I mean, this is part of the long suffering victimhood of fandom that we all have to embrace. I mean, that's the beauty of it. I mean, watching the Mets do something that at the beginning of the year, the first 3 weeks, we never thought this would even be remotely a chance to have happen.
Yeah.
And we thought maybe trade deadline, Pete Alonso's going to go, this one's going to go. And then there was that whole discussion about how Steve Cohen believed in the team and they weren't going to make any trades. And the players were coming out saying, we need support here. And I said to you that I felt like the players earned the right to say that because they played themselves out of the abyss into being a team that is legitimately now in this pennant race. So I don't know, man. I take it when it comes, and when it's here right now. And how many times have we said, "Oh, just give me meaningful baseball in August and September"? Well,
yeah, I mean that's not a phrase. That's not a phrase that I use a lot.
Well,
be honest
a lot
with
of people
you.
around here use it.
Yeah,
I mean, because I've used it. I said because I don't want. I love football, and I want to be a part of football, and I want to be all engrossed in football. And we got a Thursday night game tonight, of course. But these two teams, both the Yankees and the Mets, win games yesterday after the Mets are almost being no hit, and the Yankees have a walk-off. And Lindor ties it in the ninth inning with a blast, and it's like everybody took a big, deep breath. I felt like watching a replay of it. So yeah. I'm just, hey, I don't know, man. I that made me feel good. When I heard Evan on this radio station when we got in the car yesterday after we were winners, I felt like a sense of, I don't know, like euphoria.
Wow.
Because I felt like the morale around here has been in the toilet because of what happened with the football teams the first weekend and how inconsistent the Yankees have been, but the Mets have been kind of surging. And I know that they've won
they've been great. I mean,
yes.
I'm not denying any of that, and I don't want my words to be misconstrued. I just feel like I have that trepidation into buying in because I'm just so tired of that feeling of 2022. Like that's really what it comes down to. It's my own fault. I mean, I wish I had the maturity to just go, well, screw it. Enjoy every bit of it. It's fine. It's fun. It's great. It's entertainment. But it's like I don't want to all of a sudden go, wow, buy fully in. They're going to do it. This is special. Maybe something magical is happening. And then just see what I saw a couple years ago because I did exactly that. I was activated. I was brought back. I was like a little kid again with that team.
But
and they squashed me like a lantern fly.
Every season is different. You know this. Every season. That's why, like, the Jets are all in this season. They got Aaron Rodgers. How long this is going to last, who knows? But it's every season is all in. I have to say that, when you look at the Mets starting pitching staff and the way that they have come through this season, they caught a little lightning in the bottle. Let's face it. I mean, who would have thought that, you would have this pitching staff actually throw this many innings and be this effective, and then Lindor turning it on, living up to his contract finally. And you think about what they've done and how they've put guys in place of other guys. Blackburn gets hurt, McGill goes in there, he wins a game. I mean, this is what's going on now. They should get Blackburn and Kodai. They may even get Kodai Senga back. I don't know.
No,
I couldn't imagine.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, they said he was out for the year.
Oh, he is out for the year?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
So now you're bringing me down.
Well, why am I bringing you down? It's not my
just say,
calf.
Hey, you know what? We don't need him right now.
You don't need him? I mean,
I
I will say one of the most impressive things that this team did is once he came back and then was gone again, that didn't sink him. Because that felt like that, you were waiting and waiting and waiting. Just get the Kodai Senga getting back, then rotation's going to get even better. Maybe this team can actually do something. He comes back and then he's gone, but still they were able to survive that. That's probably the most impressive thing they've done all year.
Well, I think they've taken, probably, I know in the month of August there were 5 losses that they had that could have led to a complete downward spiral, but they always came back after those losses. I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm in. And I have, look, the second half of the season has been great. They just coming off of that 9-game winning streak. Pitching staff has been good. Lindor, a little bit of a dip, but comes through in a huge spot. I mean, if Pete Alonso could get going.
I mean, it's time to forget about him getting going.
No,
at this
I'm
point.
saying, like,
it's not going to happen.
Even if he doesn't get going and he just hits a home run here, sack fly there, gets hit with
when
the
it
ball,
matters,
whatever. Yeah, I understand. But
key situation.
What happens? remember I was telling you, like, what happens if the Jets season goes in a negative direction and Aaron's given those interviews on ESPN with Pat McAfee. What happens if this Met team goes in the opposite direction and they make the playoffs, and then Pete Alonso carries the team through the playoffs to the World Series? Then what happens?
Well, I think he's going to get a massive contract, and I think that changes the way the Mets look at him too. Of course.
All right, I'm trying to give you a balanced look at things. One with a positive spin on it, and one with a potential negative spin on it. So I want to be balanced. That's
I know. You're very good at that.
I want to be fair and balanced.
Very good at being balanced.
Fair and balanced.
And fair. Yes. Yeah.
You want to say balanced and fair, or fair and balanced?
I think fair and balanced. I've heard that before, so let's go with that.
All right, I'll be fair and balanced.
Okay. Yeah. No,
right.
I understand. I mean, and that's where you make your money.
I'm excited. And again, like for my little friend Evan, I have to say, it just the passion came through the microphone yesterday. I felt like it was like a 10-year-old boy watching his team. And I thought back to myself when I was a 10-year-old boy watching my team.
Yeah, it's funny perspectives on things because, and I think back to all those times that I was younger and they just crushed me, and that's why I feel the way that I feel. But somehow they haven't been able to kill him. They haven't.
Well, you know why? Because he's a real fan. He's a real hardcore fan. I'm a hardcore fan, but right. I'm not scoring games. I'm not. I don't go to bed at night with my little beanie hat on that says Mets. I don't do that.
Little beanie hat on?
Whatever he wears.
He wears a beanie hat to bed?
I don't know what he wears. With that little thing with the propeller on the top of it.
Wears that to bed?
I don't know. but again, like he's like my beacon of Mets light.
Wow.
Even though Tommy tends to be more positive.
Sure. That's like his shtick now, right?
But remember when Tommy was talking about the Knicks? We got dogs who do damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He could say the same thing about the Mets right now.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly have.
Dogs and some damage.
I mean, the fact that they are now, and it's back and forth, and they're a game ahead of the Atlanta Braves. I know they've suffered a ton of injuries, but if they could somehow hold off the Atlanta Braves of all teams and get that wild card over them and keep them out of the playoffs, that would feel like a miracle of all miracles.
All right, so from the fans' perspective, you're a fan. I understand where you're coming from, and I understand where most Met fans would come from, are coming from in regards to that particular team. But here's my message, and I'm sure this is their discussion internally within the Mets and in the dugout before the game. It's one pitch, one inning, one at bat. It's one game, and you got to take everyone seriously. And it doesn't matter what they're doing; it only matters with what we're doing.
Man,
what did I tell you yesterday? One swing, one putt, one hole. Doesn't matter what those idiots are doing. It only matters with what we're doing. Am I right?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
That's how you got to focus in.
I mean, I think that
you got to focus in that way. It's very simple. I don't know. You start talking about other things that have nothing to do with anything. Just worry about what you do. And as the great Bill Belichick stumbles on the Manning cast and everything else, will tell you, do your job.
Yeah, and they have been.
One pitch.
I got it.
One at bat.
I hear
one swing.
Oh, I know.
Right. One thought process.
Yep.
Simple.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Yeah, I understand.
And how much money did you put in your pocket yesterday?
Gambling. I don't gamble on the golf course. What do I look like? Phil Mickelson?
Well, seriously, how much money did you put in your pocket yesterday?
I think it was $80 maybe.
80 sleeves. Boom. Done. You're a winner today. Look at you.
Yeah, I don't.
You're glowing.
Yeah, I don't feel like a winner today.
No. See, this is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Were we a team yesterday?
We were a team, yes.
Are we a team today?
We're a team every day.
Every single day.
Damn right.
And what are we?
Number one.
Winners.
Right.
And I'm
winners win.
And sometimes, like, I may complete 6 passes, but the team's going to win.
Yeah.
When I think back in 2007, the Giants went to Buffalo. They played the Bills. It was a blustery day. It was awful, if I remember correctly. Eli didn't have great stats, but his team won. Antonio Pierce made great plays. Ahmad Bradshaw made great plays. Brandon Jacobs was running over people. It was a great game. And I know that he felt like he didn't really help his team. But ultimately, what that game did was propel the Giants into the playoffs, and they went on the single greatest NFL playoff run that anybody has ever done.
Yeah, it's an outlier, but yes.
No, wait a minute. An outlier, it's number one. It's the greatest run a team has ever had in the NFL.
No, I'm saying
in the
that
playoffs.
just doesn't usually happen with teams. I agree,
But
it's,
it happened.
yeah.
And when
There's
did
for,
Eli?
for every one of those,
But when did Eli
there's 15
raise
horrible
his
things.
play? He raised his play in the biggest of games.
Well, he is a champion.
That's
He's a
what
Hall
I'm
of Famer.
see, this is what I'm talking about.
They
He's
got
not a
those
Hall-
guys on this
By
team?
the way, I'm not saying he won't go in the Hall of Fame, but he's not a Hall of Famer yet. You can't call him a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of
Famer. Well, we know that, but wait
Future
until he
Hall
gets
of
voted
Famer.
in. But what I'm saying to you is that you see how you never know how it's going to propel your team and where your team's going to end up. So Pete Alonso could be the Mets' Eli Manning, struggling, fans booing, everybody wanting to get rid of him, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
boom, a switch goes on.
Flip the switch spot.
A switch goes on, a light goes on,
Wow.
and he goes off, and he has the ability to carry this team. Like, that's what I would be saying to him.
You know what? You got this Evan little child thing going on that you were talking about. I feel like
There's a little child in all of us, G.
yeah, I've heard that before, the inner child. But I feel like there's also there's other people around here. I actually heard it during the warm up show with Fliegelman. Fliegelman still feels like 2 out of 10.
Fliegelman was on a warm-up show?
Yeah, well, he was in the control room doing some log stuff, and Jerry referenced him because I guess he asked him a couple weeks ago when we were off, what's your confidence level, 1 out of 10, that the Mets make the playoffs, and I guess he said a 2 out of 10 then.
Oh, well,
So now that they're playing well, Jerry went to Fliegelman and said, hey, Fleegs, what's your confidence level now? He goes 3 out of 10.
did he ask him about whether or not VP Harris can get the presidential? With
No.
the whole Taylor Swift
He
endorsement now?
didn't ask him about do teenage boys excrete oils either, which
Okay.
is what Jerry asked Eddie the other day. But Eddie, I'll go to Eddie. I'll do my own right Eddie moment. I mean, are you more with the Evan Roberts Boomer side of things, or are you more with the me Fliegelman side of things?
I am sort of in between.
Oh, come on. Boo, that sucks. Stop being in between. Give us a point of view. Give us an opinion. Are you excited like I am?
Oh, 100%.
Me and Evan are excited.
Unless we just spit the bit in Atlanta again.
Oh, stop with that.
Unless that happens, this season
Stop
is a
with
success right now.
Listen, if you speak it, it can happen all over again, and you're trying to
What?
speak it into existence. So
No, I'm
stop
not.
it.
That's
Stop
mumbo
it.
jumbo talk right there.
Yeah, mumbo jumbo spot,
That's a word salad?
word salad.
Yeah, no, it's not. Just enjoy the ride, boys. It's a pennant race.
Oh, I'm enjoying it.
And both teams had incredible wins yesterday. Incredible.
What is that, Pittsburgh you got on your shirt?
Pittsburgh, New Hampshire.
Oh, Pittsburgh, New Hampshire. Yeah, I don't see the H on there.
That's
Pittsburgh,
right. No
New
H.
Hampshire.
That's
Didn't
right.
New Hampshire have the Mud Bowl yesterday or this weekend?
Not sure.
Yeah, I think I saw where they had the Mud Bowl.
Okay.
Bunch of guys play football in the mud. I don't know why, but they do it.
Okay, very good.